Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday. What is today? March 6th. I can't believe that it's March, honestly. Can you? No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
it's
month
pretty
I
much.
feel like I can't believe that it's this month, and it just happens every single month like that.
Totally. So I would like to welcome my guest. Today's Real Estate Recess guest is Leslie Winslow. Leslie is with one of my favorite companies on the planet, and that's because they've done so much to help me with my listings, and that is Amplify Visual Media. So why don't you tell the people a little bit about who you guys are and your specializations and why you're such an important piece of the real estate puzzle in today's world?
Well, thank you, Jennifer. And I have to say, you are also one of our favorites. Every time I get together with you or we have a shoot booked, I'm always so excited.
Awesome. Well, I
so,
appreciate that.
yeah, my husband Adam and I we actually purchased Amplify. It started in 2019, and we purchased it from that previous owner at the end of 2023. So all last year, we built it up and we switched focus a little bit and changed the name, got a new website. But what we do is we work with agents such as yourself who want to list their properties. They need the photography, video, and also personal branding for social media purposes or their website or whatever the case may be. So we love to work with all different kinds of people. Some love to be on camera, some do not want to be on camera, and it's fun to be able to tailor that to their individual needs and comfort levels.
Awesome. Yeah. And so the reason that I wanted to have Leslie on today, everyone, is that we are really getting into the heat. It's going to start heating up. The spring sales market, especially the weather and hopefully, right, our spring teaser that we are getting a little bit of today. The real estate market will start to ramp up here, especially in our areas. We get into nicer weather and people start literally coming out of the woodwork to get their houses set, or just it starts to feel like a better time of year to do this. It just feels better for a lot of people. So as we're getting into this season, the reason I wanted to have Leslie on is because prepping your home is so important, and gearing up for the marketing of a property when you list it is incredibly important as well. So wanted to have Leslie on here. We're going to talk a little bit about some important things you need to consider if you're going to be selling your home, and why media and marketing for your property in today's world is so critical when it comes to a successful sale. Wouldn't you agree? Of course you would agree, probably.
Yes, I agree. I 100% I agree.
This is what we do.
What if I said no?
Oh my gosh, be like, no, we just really like to take pictures.
And we're done. Yeah.
See you guys next time. Yeah. So I like to tell people as a real estate agent, when they tell me going to meet for the first time, just to talk about the business side of things and talk about planning and the details, and I'm going to come to their house, they'll often tell me stuff like, gosh, our house is not ready. Like, it's not ready. We're still working on some projects. We've got to organize a few things. So I like to tell them, to make them feel better in that moment, that, hey, your house doesn't have to be in listing condition for me to come and talk business with you. But trust me, I've seen it all. And I literally have. I've seen some unfortunate situations where their house was too messy. Some hoarding situations that I've walked through that we have to make a good plan and still have to talk business through that. So you've seen a lot of things, your company, you've seen and documented a lot of different types of houses. Can you tell the people out there who are watching this, what is going to make the most successful media day? So we talk business, we got everything else planned, and we're right at the point where we're going to have our pictures taken and our video done. What is the most important thing people need to know to be best prepared for that day from your side of things?
Oh, like the one most important thing. I don't know if I can think of the one most important.
Even a few. I mean, it's like these are the important things that you need to consider.
Yeah. So I guess in general, just understand that whomever you hire, hopefully it's a professional team. So they are like, we're coming in and we're ready to go. So when we get there, you understand that there might be some placement, especially if you have an agent on camera intro for the property, which sometimes you don't. But if you're doing a video and you have that, you might have some conversation ahead of time and setup and all of that. But that aside, having the home media day ready means that, first of all, it's very helpful if the owner is not on the property. It just gets a little bit complicated and maybe they have to shuffle around a bit, and it adds to a bit of stress and confusion sometimes if the owner of the property is right there. Any animals, it's great if the animals can be off property. We have, and I'm sure you have, some great resources of teams who can come in and take care of your animals while you
Yes.
are, getting the home ready. And personal items, I think we kind of have talked about this before, making sure that there's not a whole lot of personal items. There was one case where we did a video and there was an image, a picture of a child on the wall. And later the agent said, "Can you remove this?" And we can remove things in photos, but in videos, it's really difficult. So we blurred it, and that was fine. But it's just super helpful if you make sure that it is, you don't have house cleaners there while we're there, have them arrive either the day prior or the morning of, before the team gets there to actually, we should show up and get the job done so we can get out of your hair and get those photos and videos turned around for you.
Yes. And I would add to this, the cleaners and all the prep work that's being done. It's sometimes, and I've done it, and it is not my favorite. It's very, very challenging, as we can turn it around and we can be listed in a couple of days. I've had situations where we had a property on the market in 4 or 5 days, and that included having professional cleaners come in, depersonalizing and decluttering, and then doing a full media day. And then from there, all the things that I do with that media when I receive it. That's the flyers, the postcards, the social media posts, the whole other, it is so labor intensive, and it's very challenging to do. And so I often tell people, sometimes this happens and you don't have a choice. Like, you just have to run with it. Sometimes circumstances come up and it's just, we got to go now. But if you can help it, and you can at least have some wiggle room of a couple to a few weeks so that you can get the cleaners scheduled at a time that's going to make sense, and you don't feel super stressed. And even if it comes to making updates or repairs or anything like that, a month or two in advance is even better to start those plans, because selling a house is stressful enough that you don't want to have to be doing things 2 days before you're going to be on the market. Oh my gosh, it's stressful enough to sell your house that you're just layering on top of that. But yeah.
Well, and that's, to your point too, about having things ready and prepared. And this is something that you as an agent would do too, as you walk through the home, but, making sure that the lights are all the same temperature, because in a photo that will be revealed, and we can adjust things, if there's a light missing, we can adjust that and fix that.
Yeah.
But, in editing. But it's just really helpful if those things are done. And there have been times where we've walked into a home and it's like dirty laundry is here. And, we have taken it upon ourselves to move those things around. But truly, no matter who you hire for your media professionals, they shouldn't have to do a lot of, in fact, sometimes it's not good for them to do a lot of heavy lifting of furniture, not moving around a bunch of dishes. And it's not that it's like, oh, anyone's too good for that, but anyone you hire would say, I'm here to do this specific job for you, and I can help fluff a pillow and move a vase if it makes sense in the image. But truly, just think of them as like you're showing up for your portrait, right?
Yeah.
For like a headshot, and you wouldn't expect them to dye your hair or trim your bangs, right?
Right. 100%. It does make such a difference to just have it be done, and everybody's time more efficient, and we can be on the way to taking care of what we need to take care of if that stuff is done well and done right up front. A quick point, you said the temperature of the lighting. For those who may not who are curious what that is, that means that the light bulbs in your house are all matching. So there's warm and cool, and you probably notice this out there when you buy light bulbs. There's cool and warm lighting, and it's having all of the light bulbs either be cool or either be warm, or so that they all kind of have that same look to them. It just makes the whole process a little easier. It makes things look cleaner and crisper, and nicer.
Yeah.
So you might have to go to the hardware store and get a couple light bulbs to make everything look good and just be easier to photograph. Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that I also tell people that you brought up, another point I'd love to expand upon, you were talking about the photo of the child in the video. And this is something I tell folks too. Part of this process is decluttering and depersonalizing. So decluttering, because somebody's going to walk into your home and they're going to envision themselves living there, not necessarily seeing all of your stuff there. It's a great chance for you to take that stuff and put it in boxes and set it aside. You're moving anyway, so this is the time to start getting ahead of that. So there's one less thing you have to do when you're busy with getting ready to move. The other thing is the depersonalization. Both of those things go together because, believe it or not, buyers go into a house, they learn a lot more about you from the stuff in your house than you would ever imagine. And I know this as a buyer's agent, and the little comments, and then these are, a lot of the time they're just completely innocent, but buyers pick up on who you are, and you never know how that information can be used to manipulate you in a negotiation. Maybe not manipulate in a negative sense, but like, oh, we noticed that they have kids. We have kids and we can't wait to live here, and whatever gets communicated somewhere out there. As agents, it's our job to buffer that as much as possible. But sometimes it's still out there. Buyers can know too much about you, and it's better to leave that as much of a mystery as possible. So yes, maybe it's depressing to take down your family pictures, but it's for the better, I think, in the grand scheme of things, to just take all that stuff down.
Yeah. And like you said, Jennifer, I know that there have been times where, talking about staging and, bringing other items in, which you might talk about in a bit or not. But there have been times where maybe a homeowner has something that they happen to love this space, and they think that this, moose head or whatever it is that they have on the wall is like a wonderful accomplishment for their family. And it's handed down from generations. But you're coming in with the eye of like, I understand what this means to you and your family, and the value, but this isn't necessarily going to appeal to the, overall market that you're looking to appeal to. So being able to be okay with having some items removed, even if it's not personal, having some items maybe removed from the home and maybe bringing in some other items that actually look really great, and just a neutral palette for a potential buyer.
Absolutely. So I think my challenge today, Leslie, because this is how it goes sometimes, we roll with the punches. We started early today because my computer battery is about to die. And my charger for my battery is at home. And so there is one more important point before we have to conclude this, just based on sheer power. Why is media so important? Why is marketing such an important aspect of the real estate transaction in today's world? What do people need to know?
Well, I mean, first of all, to list a home, you need the photos. And this picture here is one that we did for you.
Yes,
for one of your properties.
Road, the beautiful house.
So if you're interested in it, it's still available.
Yes.
Big, nice story there. But so to list it, you need the photos. So that's just you just need those. Now, the video portion, if you choose to have a walkthrough video of the property, I think that it's such a great way to be able to show someone okay, I could see myself living here. Yes, I want to go and check that property out and see if it feels the same to me in person as it does when I look at it. So you could get a
Yeah.
bigger audience there. And maybe it, weeds some people out too, because maybe you don't want a bunch of people coming through who truly have no interest in the property. It's like, oh, I thought that this had, a primary bathroom, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
as far as and then, sometimes people can do walkthrough videos with their phone. Absolutely, that's done, and there's a place for that. I think there is a place for professionally produced media as well. When we record a property for a home tour, it's edited. We are making sure to get the highlighted spaces that would be of interest to a potential buyer. And then it's something that you as an agent can take and reuse on your social media.
Yeah.
And if you are in it, then that helps your brand as well, and people to understand who you are and how you represent them. And that's what a lot of the reels and showcase videos that agents are posting do as well. Sets you aside from
Absolutely.
anyone else and what's important about you and what would be valuable for a potential client to know.
Absolutely. I agree with 100% of everything you said. And I will add that in today's world, photos are not enough. Buyers they are looking at your property online, but before they even commit to seeing a property, they're going to look at as many details as they can. So having an agent who's using all the tools that are available in the digital toolbox is only a benefit to you. And it is going to mean that the buyers who are going to come through have seen those things online. They've made the decision that, yeah, now we need to see it in person. We need to get the feel, the sensory feel of the home that the pictures online aren't going to show. What's the neighborhood looking like? That is the smell, the sounds, the overall just feel of it that you can't really express with a photo. As much as photos are great, and people do a great, you guys do an excellent job, but it can't quite hit the sensory side that is so important in that home buying process. So, and you want to appeal to people who use information differently. You've got engineers, they love Matterports, they love floor plans. You want to have those things. 3D walkthroughs are good for people to get a feel of the house as it is. So I agree 100% that media is irreplaceable, and it is absolutely worth it to hire an agent who knows what they're doing on that side of things. So,
I know we're running out of time, but I do want to say, I've said this to you before, and I've said this to anyone who will hear me. Like, it's so great when we work with agents like yourself who actually understand that they want to invest in the media. And I use invest as a big word, but truly you're trying to get the eyes on the property and the right buyer for that space. And you do this consistently, Jennifer, which is a testament to, the service you give to your clients. It's like you're in it and you're in it with them. And, you absolutely are using every resource that you have, be it the media or your social, presence online, to really try to find the right space for the buyer or seller that you're working with.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, because sometimes it's hard. It's an investment in my client's future and their success with the sale of the property. And I believe in that. That is 100% part of my ethos being in business, is that this is what's best for the client. We're going to turn over every stone to find a buyer and do the best that we can to do that. And we're going to use all the tools. And some people may not want to do that, and that's okay. I may not be the agent for them, but for those who want to leave no stones unturned, that is my ethic, 100%. So anyway, how can people find you at Amplify? Where can they go check out some examples of your work?
Yeah, well, amplifyvisualmedia.com is our website. We're also on Instagram, Amplify Visual Media. And so you can go on there, check it out. You can contact us on our website or just message through Instagram. And I'm the one that responds to Instagram messages. So
Perfect.
if you say something, then it'll be me that replies to you.
Awesome. That's perfect. So thank you, Leslie. Thank you for taking the time to give us a quick abridged version. Next time I'll have you on, it will not necessarily be such a short. I promise I will not forget my laptop charger. But again, I'm Jennifer Schurter. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Real Estate Recess. And if you are looking to make a move around Clackamas County to the city of Canby or any of those surrounding towns in the North Willamette Valley, I hope you'll give me a call. Otherwise, I'll see you next week, Thursday at noon. Have a good one, everyone.